Good afternoon. It's Lindsay. It's November 18th, 2023, Saturday, and I wanted to talk about some things, gang stalking, and what more about this targeted individual program thing here that I'm an unwitting victim of. Once again, I don't like to victimize myself or call myself a victim, but this program, let's just call it this program that I have been in for so long now, gang stalking, targeted individual thing. And here's an example of what, when a narcissistic individual doesn't get their way with you and you reject them or cut them off, out of your life, they act out, and that's something that they will do, and especially when they work for the government or they are a narcissist who feels that they have control over their victim or whatever. Because this is something that, of course, has happened to me recently. Again, I'm not going to go into all the details, but I thought I'd document this because it's a smear campaign, basically another smear campaign that they're doing to me, involving a person who had been pursuing me and monitoring me and surveilling me and whatnot, and who befriended me at the Gold's Gym on Goliad that I used to go to, that I got kicked out of thanks to that person who basically provoked me to the point of acting out and making a fool of myself and getting all angry and screaming at the TVs or talking out loud, that I got kicked out. Basically, he caused me to get kicked out of there because he was a fucking FBI informant, liar, piece of shit narcissist who, thanks to him, and this happened like almost 9 months ago now. It's been quite a while. Happened. No, it's almost probably been a year. It's been a while. Not quite a year, but anyway, thanks to him and thanks to other people, flying monkey narcissistic people who were gang stalking me at that gym, I can't go there anymore because I already figured out that place was a lot of drug dealing going on. They were bullying me around. They were using me as their scapegoat and constant harassment. And they are all involved with it at that place. It's like it was horrible, horrible. Just about everybody was involved to an extent of doing this to me at that gym. And this was from like 2020 to 2023. It lasted a long time until I finally got the fuck out of there. But nonetheless, that person was the final straw of why I left. I didn't get kicked out, but they made it obvious that the way it all happened and manifested, it was all so coordinated and synchronized. And when you are a targeted person, you know what I'm talking about. The way they do these things to get rid of a person from a corporation or a gym or whatever, it's like the same akin to workplace mobbing or bullying when they want to get rid of the target and they do things to get rid of you, without actually saying to your face, get out of here. They'll do shit to make it obvious that you can't come back or that they don't want you there and all that kind of shit. So that's what they did to me. But this motherfucker, this pervert, asshole, liar, bully, misogynistic, pig, womanizer, jackass, liar is the reason thanks to him, okay? And I'm still to this day angry because he still kept having the audacity to weasel his way back into my life, to get information, to use against me, to make me look foolish. And then it turned into like almost a stalking thing, an obsession. And I kept telling him information, thinking that he was my friend, and then realizing, no, this man is full of shit. I've got to go with my instincts, and there's something about this person that I don't like and that I have a bad feeling about, and I kept ignoring that and then going back to being his friend or whatever, and then he would try to ask me out and say, well, let's go hang out sometime, and hitting on me in subtle ways, like romantically, And I was like, don't you understand? I don't like you like that. You're 66 years old or 67 years old. I'm not attracted to you like that. It's just, the thought was disgusting to even, for him to think that I would even for a million years consider that. But it's like he kept trying to force that. And then he was pushing drugs on me, trying to get me addicted to fucking gummy things and Delta, all this fucking synthetic marijuana shit. And he's just a bad person. He's a bad person who had bad intentions and was only in my life because he had an interest in my financial resources and all that, and fucking played like he was my friend, only to get information to use it against me and to fucking gang stalk me and get all his little fucking government buddy surveillance fucking private security fucktards involved. And yes, that man was involved with all that shit at one point. He's a fucking liar. For all I know, he's probably never smoked any fucking marijuana in his life. But he kept trying to push drugs on me, and the motherfucker got me in trouble. So anyway, and he's the same person who went with me to the court hearing when my father, Alan Baldwin, died. He accompanied me to the first court hearing because I felt like I needed someone to go with me to maybe protect me or to be whatever. And I wish to God that I never asked that person to go because it was so uncomfortable. His being there in that court hearing was so bizarre and uncomfortable for me. I wish that I never, ever, ever asked him to go along because honestly, I know that there was something about that man that I didn't trust, and there's something about him that gave me the creeps. You know what I mean? And for me, it kept making me think that maybe, because he would get drunk and call me sometimes and just start going off on these psychobabble, schizophrenic tangents and talking about weird stuff that was indicative of things. It's like, okay, I think you don't need to say anymore. I already have an idea of what's going on, and I already, you know what I mean? I'm not going to go into detail, but I think that there was some perverted stuff going on in that man's family involving his relatives, his I don't want to say anything else, but it was pretty obvious the way he was talking and the way he was almost revealing it and confessing it to me. And then he had all these obsessions with just weird. The man's weird, you know, and he was obsessed with his dead mother, and it was always like he'd call me crying, like leaving me these messages like crying, saying, I miss you so much, Lindsay. You know, I really need to talk to you. I need someone to talk to, and you're the only one who understands me. And, you know, he'd start cry like a baby. And this man's like a 67-year-old, big fucking, tall, big man, you know, big, with all the Neanderthal features and the big, he looks like a Jew. He looks like Harvey, like the twin of Harvey Weinstein. Okay, to me, he's unattractive. I'm sorry, but I'm not attracted to him physically. And I never was, and I kind of tried to tell him that in ways that were not mean, but he just couldn't seem to get the fucking picture, and he still kept pursuing me. Hey, let's go play bingo, or let's go hang out. It's like, I don't fucking like you like that. And then he'd bring me all these gifts, you know, buying me shit and bringing it and saying, let me meet you at the parking lot. I have something for you. And it's like, I don't want anything. Okay, please stop. I told him so many times, please, I like you as a friend, but that's it. Don't give me any more gifts. It makes me uncomfortable. And he couldn't seem to fucking understand that I'm not an object that he could exploit. I was being exploited by this person. Yeah. And he fucked up my life at the fucking Gold's Gym on Goliad. Thanks to him, as soon as that motherfucker shows up, all these problems started. Okay? It was fine before he ever got there. I was doing okay. I was a lot better. Things were getting better. And then that motherfucker shows up and gets me all revved up in my, you know, modes where I start acting out and talking. And he got me in fucking trouble. Or got me, fuck him. Made sure that they got rid of all the fucking treadmills that I liked. It's all his fucking fault because he works for the fucking FBI. Fucking government shithead liar. And it makes me mad because then I had blocked him on my phone several months ago. I was like, you know what? This is a toxic relationship. I don't want to have anything to do with this person. I'm going to block him. So I did, okay? I blocked him, and I didn't talk to him for a long, long time. And then I unblocked him one day just to see what would happen. And guess what? Immediately, that very next day, I get a call from him. The very next day of my unblocking him, which had been for like 2 months of no contact with this person, or longer than that, no contact. And then I unblocked him, and then the next thing you know, he's already calling me and texting me, and then I ended up talking to him again on the phone for a couple of hours at least. I'm like, he's still the same fucking narcissist that I knew before, bragging about how much money he's making and that his son has such and such amount of money and he's making all this money and doing all this work. And you know how they glorify themselves all the time. And I want to go to the gym and then bragging about himself. Just brag, brag, brag. Okay, and it's like that's all he would do is boast on and on about himself. And then it's like did you ever fucking grow up? I smoke pot every day, and it's like, I don't give a shit. Good for you. Grow up. You sound like an Arrested Development adult. A narcissist, and they have control issues. They seem to think that they have a real fetish. Some of these big men, you'll notice that some of them, they have like a real fetish for women who are short for whatever reason, because why? They have control issues. They're men who have major fucking control issues, and they seem to think that women of a shorter stature can be easily controlled and manipulated and bribed or bullied around. Because I've had this happen to me a lot with these kinds of people. And so anyway, I'll talk about what this fucking fucktard pig did. He kept saying, "Oh, I have something for you." Like, because I had unblocked him on my phone, and I kept ignoring. He kept calling me and texting me, "Have a good workout, have a good workout." Now that I fucking drive 20-something fucking miles to the gym every day because of that motherfucker. I used to only have to drive like 6 miles, and now, thanks to that shithead, he did it on purpose. I have to drive all this fucking way to go to the other Gold's Gym because of that fucking pig, narcissist, fucking self-absorbed asshole. So, every morning he was texting me, "Have a good workout, Lindsay. Give me a call later. Give me a buzz." It's like, I don't want to fucking call you. You're not my handler. Leave me the fuck alone. Because as soon as that man starts getting me involved with him again, it's like all this toxicity and all this bad crap starts happening to me. It's like I get cursed. He starts bringing out like all the negativity in me, and it's almost like he's possessed. If you've ever been around somebody who's got demons, like literally, like if you feel like you're around a fucking demon, that's what that man is like. He looks like a fucking demon, like a fucking Neanderthal Jew demon is what he fucking looks like to me. And so he looks like a fucking Jew, and he looks like a demon. And a Neanderthal caveman. It's fucking gross. So he sent me, he's like, "I have a packet, I have something I want to send you. What's your address?" And I ignored him. Okay, this was like about a couple weeks ago. He's like, "What's your address? What's your address? I have something I want to send you." And I just ignored him. Okay, and then all of a sudden in the mail, a couple days ago, about 3 days ago, I get this package from him. Okay, it says, "Your friend Ronnie," and it's got my address on it. Okay, I'm like, oh my god. It's like, first of all, he calls me to ask for my address, and I don't give it to him, or texts me about and I didn't give it. So obviously he already knew my fucking address, okay? Because I didn't give it to him. He already knew it, and that's the same thing that happened before. It's like he was asking me for my address, and I didn't want to give it to him, but then I get something in the mail. So obviously this motherfucker already knew my address. It's just like they do that. Narcissistic people do that to bait you back in, to try to re-engage you in conversation so that you confess to them, or that they just want to gather information. And with this man, it's all about financial control. It's like all he wanted to know really was about my finances. He had a real interest in my finance. It's like, what the fuck do you need all this information for? It's none of your fucking business. The more I thought about it, it's like, who the fuck are you? It's none of your fucking business. I don't even know you that well. But he was so interested in my money, my finances, and it's like, okay, clearly you have an ulterior agenda or motive. Um, oh, whenever there's money involved, you can assure that there's going to be some fucking narcissist who wants to invade your life and fuck up your life to control you and control your finances, right? Because they think you're stupid or they think that you need a hand. I don't need a fucking handler. So he sent me this package and I didn't even open it. I was like, fuck that. I don't want it. Oh, I sent you some seeds because I eat pumpkin seeds and nuts and seeds. And of course they copy you. Notice how narcissistic people, they start mimicking you. If you're a vegetarian, they all of a sudden want to be a vegetarian. If you eat pumpkin seeds, then the next thing you know, they start eating them. If you drive a certain car, then they copy you and get a car similar to that. It's like they want to mimic you, yet at the same time, they make fun of you behind your back, they talk shit about you, and they bully you. But at the same time, they envy you and want to be just like you. Okay, and they're jealous, because this man was fucking jealous about the fact that I go to the fucking gym every day, because he can't do the same shit that he probably did when he was in his 30s. So they take it out on, I'm not your fucking scapegoat. Go find your fucking daughter who you have. He talked about how he had some daughter out of wedlock with some woman, and one day they showed up at his house and he was already married to some other woman, and he turned her away. He basically said, get out of here, to his own daughter, mind you, his own daughter, his own flesh and blood, and the mother, that he just turned him away. What the fuck kind of father, I'm sorry, but what the fuck kind of parent would turn away your own kid that you had out of wedlock? That is real fucked up. And that right there told me a lot about this man's person, about the way he is. If you would do that to your own fucking daughter, what kind of person are you? And then it's like he kept treating me like, it's like, I'm not your daughter. It's almost like he was acting like I was his mother or his daughter. It's like, I'm not any of that shit. Just leave me the fuck alone. Or as a best friend, it's like he couldn't go a day without talking to me. And then the conversations would turn into 2-3 hour conversations. And I was like, what the fuck? I'd ask myself, why am I wasting all this energy and time talking to somebody who's just making fun of me, using it against me, and ruining my life? Why am I doing this, Lindsay? Because at first I was like, I feel sorry for this man. I want to help him. He's got a drug problem. He drinks. He's got a marijuana addiction. He's got problems with, it's like I was trying to help him by kind of counseling him. And I realized that I became his obsession. I literally became like his crutch. Like he was so codependent on me to the point that it was getting sick. It was becoming a toxic friendship. And then he kept trying to provoke me into like, let's go out sometime. Or, he'd get really close to me and say to it's like, don't get so close to me, don't invade my boundaries. And it's like, I don't think he understood, or he didn't seem to understand that I only liked him as a friend. And it's like he kept trying to push that. And it's like, no way, that would never happen with you. And I told him so many times, I don't like you like that. And thank God nothing ever happened between myself and that man, because God knows I would never have let it, but it was just getting creepy, okay, really creepy. And he creeps me out because he's got a fucking obsession with me, literally. And now every time I drive, I keep seeing these goddamn Volkswagen Jetta, fucking silver Jettas like the one that he drives, because he drove some fucking pickup truck that he wrecked, that he totaled, because he probably was driving stoned and he fucking drunk, and he wrecked his car and totaled it or something. I'm sure it was his fault, because he wrecked his car, and so now he drives some Volkswagen thing and it's like, and now everywhere I've noticed, I keep seeing these goddamn, every time I'm leaving the gym, every time I'm on the freeway, there's always a fucking silver Volkswagen Jetta behind me, exactly like his car, and I'm like, oh my God, everywhere now. I keep seeing them everywhere, and I'm not exaggerating. I swear to God that is happening to me all the time now, and that's part of this smear campaign, fucking government harassment, gang stalking shit. I kid you not. I swear to God, they do this kind of shit. They'll stop at nothing to fucking destroy your life, especially when they have connections to the government or they have money. They don't care. They'll spend whatever amount of money to fuck up your life, smear you, and ruin your finances. like they're trying to do to me. But I keep fighting back and talking about it and exposing these fucking sorry ass narcissistic pig motherfuckers. So I wrote on this thing, I wrote return to sender, and I wrote his name on it, and I wrote return. I found his fucking address by doing some research and wrote return to fucking sender and stuck it in the fucking mailbox yesterday, as a matter of fact. Yesterday, I stuck it in a mailbox, or the day before. I think it was yesterday. I stuck it in a mailbox. And guess what? Today I get home and it's right back on my porch. So I have this package of a bunch of fucking seeds, I guess, that he sent me, pumpkin seeds. It's like I don't even want to open it. I don't want to accept the gift because it just makes it, when you accept the gift of a narcissistic person who you've cut ties with, they're gonna keep on using. They're gonna keep. That's like a bait. That's like a way to keep you entrapped and to make you feel obligated to talk to them, or to make you feel like, you know what I mean? That's one of their tactics that they use to try to keep the target in some kind of communication with them, even though you don't want to have anything to do with them, right? That's the kind of shit that they fucking do. So that's the video for today. Thank you.